Lancelot Capability Brown's transformative genius lay in reshaping the English landscape into vast, idealized, naturalistic scenes, a radical departure from the formal geometries that preceded him. He was a master orchestrator of terrain, water, and vegetation, creating harmonious compositions that appeared effortlessly natural, yet were meticulously designed. His work wasn't about imposing rigid order, but about enhancing the inherent beauty of the land, crafting picturesque vistas and creating an illusion of boundless rolling countryside, often framed by strategically placed clumps of trees and meandering stretches of water. He saw the landscape as a canvas for sublime pastoral paintings, an art form that resonated deeply with the aesthetic sensibilities of his era. If one were to ask Lancelot Brown, what is a garden? His answer would be a direct challenge to the prevailing continental styles and deeply reflective of his own aesthetic philosophy. He would likely declare that a garden is a refined imitation of nature, an artful improvement upon the land's inherent beauty, designed to evoke a sense of freedom, ease, and picturesque tranquility. For Brown, the ideal garden was not a forced display of human dominance, but a seemingly effortless extension of the surrounding countryside, where art concealed art. He would emphasize that its purpose was to provide gentle pleasure, to soothe the spirit, and to offer a series of delightful, ever-unfolding naturalistic views, much like a living painting. He saw the garden as a harmonious composition where all elements flowed seamlessly, a pastoral idyll for contemplation and enjoyment. In essence, for Brown, a garden was a carefully composed natural scene, where every hill, valley, clump of trees, and stretch of water was placed to perfect the existing landscape, creating a coherent and expansive vision of idealized rural beauty. He would argue that a garden should inspire quiet admiration, appearing as if nature herself had simply been perfected. Brown's designs are fundamentally characterized by their gentle undulations, sweeping curves, and seamless integration with the surrounding topography. He famously leveled and smoothed the land, often filling in formal canals and removing rigid avenues to create broad, flowing lawns that extended directly to the house, blurring the lines between the cultivated and the wild. This creation of ha-has, concealed ditches, allowed livestock to graze near the mansion without visible barriers, reinforcing the illusion of uninterrupted landscape. His commitment to these gentle, naturalistic contours was a deliberate rejection of the straight lines and forced symmetries of earlier styles. Water played a pivotal yet naturalistic role in his compositions. He transformed often small streams into meandering rivers or expansive, irregularly shaped lakes that appeared to flow naturally through the landscape. These bodies of water were carefully sculpted to reflect the sky and trees, creating picturesque scenes and often providing vital drainage. Unlike formal fountains, Brown's water features felt organic, enhancing the sense of a continuous, living landscape. The engineering involved in creating these seemingly naturalistic waterways, often involving significant earth-moving, was sophisticated but always subservient to the aesthetic outcome. His use of planting was perhaps his most defining feature. Brown eschewed rigid parterres and clipped hedges, favoring clumps of trees, often mixed deciduous and evergreen species, placed strategically on rises to frame views, define spaces, and add visual depth. These clumps were not random. They were carefully positioned to create picturesque effects, guiding the eye and providing a sense of scale. Beyond clumps, he used belts of trees around the perimeter of estates to filter undesirable views and create a sense of enclosed yet expansive private parkland. He aimed for naturalistic effects, allowing trees to grow more freely within their designed forms, emphasizing their individual beauty and seasonal changes. The experience of moving through a Brown landscape was one of unfolding vistas and continuous, gentle progression. There were no sharp turns or abrupt transitions. Instead, visitors were invited to wander along winding paths or carriage drives that gradually revealed new perspectives and carefully composed scenes. The entire landscape functioned as a vast, living painting, designed to be appreciated from various viewpoints, each offering a unique picture of perfected nature. This comprehensive approach, integrating topography, water, and vegetation into a unified, seemingly effortless artistic statement, was highly influential. Brown's enduring influence on today's landscape architects. Brown's influence on today's landscape architecture, though often adapted and reinterpreted for contemporary contexts, remains remarkably profound and pervasive. His foundational principles continue to inform many aspects of modern design, even when the specific aesthetic is different. His mastery of shaping topography and creating gentle, flowing contours is a cornerstone of much contemporary landscape architecture. Whether in large public parks, golf courses, or residential developments, the manipulation of landform to create visual interest, manage drainage, and define space in a naturalistic manner directly stems from Brown's innovations. The idea of subtly altering the ground plane to achieve a desired aesthetic and functional outcome is a clear inheritance. Furthermore, his sophisticated understanding of water as a naturalistic and integral design element continues to inspire. Modern landscape architects utilize water features, from rain gardens and retention ponds to meandering streams and naturalized lakes, not just for beauty, but for their ecological functions, stormwater management, habitat, sensory qualities, and as dynamic elements that enhance the sense of place. While sustainability is now a primary driver, the recognition of water's power to shape and animate a landscape owes much to Brown's pioneering work in creating seemingly natural waterways. Brown's approach to planting, particularly the use of massing and strategic placement of trees for visual effect, has left an indelible mark. Contemporary landscape architects continue to employ groups of trees, clumps, groves, belts, to frame views, provide shade, create enclosure, and add seasonal interest. While the exact species and formal arrangement might differ, the principle of using vegetation as a primary tool to sculpt space and create visual compositions within a larger landscape framework is a direct descendant of his methodology. The idea of selecting and placing trees to achieve specific aesthetic outcomes beyond mere forestry originated with him. His emphasis on seamless integration with the surrounding environment, the borrowed landscape, is a powerful and enduring concept. Modern landscape architects frequently seek to connect their designs with the broader regional context, blurring boundaries and extending views to create a sense of continuity. The creation of green infrastructure or open space networks that link urban areas to natural systems often reflects this aspiration for continuous, integrated landscapes. Finally, Brown's understanding of the experiential journey through a landscape and the creation of unfolding vistas continues to shape design. Modern landscape architects meticulously choreograph circulation paths, views, and sensory experiences to guide users through a space, creating narratives and fostering specific emotional responses. Whether it's the sequence of discovery in a large arboretum or the gentle progression along a campus pathway, the idea that a landscape can be a curated journey of perception and revelation traces back to Brown's masterful compositions. In essence, Lancelot Capability Brown established a naturalistic language for landscape design, one rooted in an idealized vision of the English countryside, subtle engineering, and a profound sense of aesthetic harmony. He demonstrated the power of the designed landscape to soothe, to inspire, and to offer an illusion of effortless perfection. While today's landscape architects often embrace ecological principles, sustainability, and more diverse cultural expressions, the fundamental tools of landform manipulation, naturalistic water features, strategic tree planting, and the creation of an immersive experiential journey, all aimed at creating compelling, integrated, and visually rich outdoor environments, are direct echoes of the indelible mark left by Brown on the face of the earth. He transformed the concept of the garden from a formal architectural extension to a sweeping naturalistic painting, fundamentally altering how we perceive and shape our outdoor worlds.